That's where you should be. Home and asleep. So I didn't come in here to check on the patient. I came to check in on the nurse.
I'm okay.
You are terrific, but you're tired and you're overworked. Listen, I tried to pull some strings around here to get somebody to take over for you tomorrow, but it didn't work.
Well, thanks for trying.
Well, you could do the next best thing. Go home and get some rest.
Oh, I think I'd rather stick around here.
Because of him? Because of me?
No. Steve Hardy's having surgery this morning.
I know, I'm on the team. But there's really not much you can do right now.
Oh, I know, but I just feel better being here.
You'd feel better if you went home and got some rest. Listen, do I have to report to Dr. Hardy mutiny here? It wouldn't do you or him any good. He'll feel better, and you will feel better if you go home and get a little rest before your next shift. So will I.
Okay, when you put it that way.
Yeah, we have absolutely no choice in the matter. Tony will take care of him. Steve will be fine.
All right, you've convinced me. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Good morning.
Is it really?
I think it'd be a great morning. Since you're still alive. Had a pretty close call yesterday.
I don't suppose you'd care to share it with me.
But remember, you passed out. I think your body's telling you that you gotta take care of this hand.
Ah, a pleasant euphemism for surgery.
Yeah, well, I think you find it wouldn't be so bad.
I can't imagine anything much worse than being knocked out and sliced open.
Well, nobody's gonna slice you open. Actually, between your thumb and forefinger, we'll make a small incision.
Interesting how it's always a small incision for the person doing the incising.
Well, you're not the only one that's afraid of surgery. A lot of people are. Dentist. I'm afraid of dentists myself.
What if something worse happens to me?
It could. Especially if we can't get that infection out of your system. You know, some infections are tough. You know, they resist all our efforts and all our antibiotics. They just go where they want to go and move when they want to move.
I get the distinct impression that you and your cohort, young Dr. Kildare, want me to have it done.
Absolutely. It is the quickest and most proof way of getting that infection out of your system.
Could it be painful?
Well, you might feel a little discomfort around the stitches after surgery.
Let's talk about during surgery, Doctor.
You wouldn't feel a thing. We'll give you a light anesthetic.
How long would it take?
Oh, just wouldn't take too long at all. I mean, we could schedule you in the afternoon, and barring any complications, you could do one of your favorite things, roaming the halls by morning.
Schedule me.
What?
You heard me? Schedule me. The sooner the better. Let's get on with it.
Dr. Jones has surgery in the morning until noon.
Well, can't he shift his schedule around and take me first?
No, he has the chief of staff, Dr. Hardy.
You're telling me that now I've decided to go through with it, you're going to make me wait?
Relax, Bill. We can make good use of this time. I'll schedule you for the afternoon. You've made a very good decision.
That's a great comfort. Anything to get the hell out of here. Even half a chance of me finding out a fat mouth are going to ruin everything. I'm going to finish what I started, Robbie. I've waited a long time to get to you.
Here's the lab report on the ring.
And?
We are in luck. It was purchased at Hoffman Jewelers here in Port Charles.
So they were able to ID the jeweler's stamp, right?
No easy task. They said the stamp was pretty worn.
We know it has to be done next, don't we?
Yeah, proved the ring belonged to Graham Putnam.
Very good. Remind me to put you down for promotion. Now, if we can verify that that ring is Putnam's, it puts him in the house the night that Anna was kidnapped. I gotta get a car.
Okay.
Oh, hi, Sam. How are you? Robert, here's the report from his lawyer. Owens, Richard Owens. And according to the institution, Owens was the first stop that Putnam made right after he was released.
Uh-huh. That explains why the first Norman's letter was postmarked New York City.
Exactly. It's no longer supposition. All the pieces are finally falling into place.
Okay. We know the jeweler. We know he has information, and the information is vital. On the other hand, I want to get to New York and talk to this lawyer.
You can't cover them both. Let me take the jeweler.
You mind?
Are you kidding? And his life is at stake.
Let's the information again, then go through it while I get onto the airline. I want to shut him out of here. Yes, sir. What'll it be for you? A diamond for your lady? A watch for yourself?
Oh, not today. It's police business. I'd like to ask a few questions. Do you recognize this ring?
Well, that's a very interesting piece.
We know it was purchased here. We just don't know when or by whom.
Well, I've only had the place 2 years.
Well, even so, you must have records.
Ah, yes. Records.
Mm.
I'll go check. They're exquisite, aren't they?
They're expensive, too, I bet.
Well, for some people, yes. For you, no.
The only thing I'm interested in today, sir, is information.
Ah. Well, I can't seem to find any record of the sale. And you know those records only go back 2 years.
No, I think it's back a little further than that, possibly in 1984.
Ah. Now, those records are in the basement. They're very hard to get to. It'd take a lot of my time. Time's a precious jewel in itself. Don't you agree? Very valuable.
How valuable?
Oh, almost as valuable as this piece.
I'm sure. How much for this piece?
That's worth about an hour of my time, maybe.
I can see where we're going with this.
Sir, I didn't suggest for a minute that I wouldn't look, but your attitude might make me forget.
And your attitude might make me get a search warrant.
Which, again, takes time.
Actually, I think my lady would love that piece.
It's quite expensive.
Worth about 3 hours of your time.
Indeed.
Take checks, of course.
Oh, absolutely.
While I write the check, why don't you try and locate those records?
I just remembered. I know exactly where they are. I'll be right back.
I'm sure. What I do for friendship.
Mr. Robert Scorpio is here.
Who?
The police commissioner from Port Charles. Don't you remember he called earlier for an appointment?
Oh, yes. How could I forget? Do you know what he wants to see?
Well,
it shouldn't take too long to explain. It's all right. Dick Owens, Mr. Scorpio, pleased to meet you. Sit down. Thank you. I'm not too familiar with your city. I understand it's quite a town. Quite. You've never been there? Blown through on business, that's all. Then I don't suppose you know too many people. Unfortunately, no. What about Grant Putnam? You do know Grant Putnam. The name's familiar. What about the man? I've been in practice many years, Mr. Scorpio. I've had many clients through the years. Grant Putnam was one of them, or should I say, is one of them. Could be. Putnam's not an unusual name. I didn't come here to play games, Mr. Owens. I want information about your client, Grant Putnam. I want to know where he's been since day one from leaving the funny farm. This man you're speaking of, has he been charged with anything? I'll say this once more, Mr. Owens. I didn't come here to play games. Now, this man, as you so call him,
has possibly damaged my daughter for life and may have even killed her mother. Now, he was your client, wasn't he?
I see no reason to deny it. He hasn't been arrested, has he?
Look, I'm going to have you arrested very shortly for hampering the investigation if you don't tell me what I want to know. Furthermore, I'm going to have your client reduced to toast on the electric chair. Now, Grant Putnam was in Port Charles 1, maybe 2 weeks ago. Possibly he's still there. Tell me, Mr. Owens, how do I find him?